Gun control is a misguided effort. Although people might have good intentions for wanting to ban guns, I believe their efforts are reckless, usually based on ignorance, and should be directed towards other efforts. Guns kill people. People kill people. We've all heard the arguments before. People want people to stop dying. People want people to stop killing people. But, like most things in society, and the world in general, it's not a simple issue. Some think that banning guns or certain classifications of firearms will stop people from being murdered and murdering. I don't think so. In my home country today, when this was written, the government announced the prohibition of over 1,500 models of firearms. But the idea and effort are wasteful. To use this example, we just had a mass shooting, but the gunman was a criminal. He used illegal firearms that entered the country illegally for an illegal purpose. He didn't have a firearms license, which you need in Canada, and killed many people. It is a tragedy to say the least. But this gun ban going into effect today wouldn't have stopped the shooting or the deaths. These efforts only divide our country, hurt our GDP, and punish the legal firearm owners of Canada, who, by the way, statistically commit the fewest number of overall crimes in the country. I said this was a complicated issue. As far as Canadians feel about the issue, to quote, across the country the majority of gun owners, or 55%, oppose the federal government's move, whereas 86% of people who have never owned a gun are in favor. That's really high. But people are misinformed. So what's the answer? It isn't a simple one. But a gun ban in Canada won't solve the problem, nor will it here, because guns, murder, and people are not simple issues. As Politico reported, the Nova Scotia shooter reportedly obtained some of his firearms from the U.S., which has been beset by a series of mass shootings in recent years, but has yet to enact significant changes to its national gun laws. One of my biggest pet peeves is, in quote, intelligent people who have an opinion about something that they know nothing about. And frankly, even when challenged, the smartest people in our society refuse to learn about firearms. They in essence personify what they hate: ignorance and ignorant behavior. I used to be an anti. I am now somewhere in between. I am not a pro-gun person, especially because gun laws are so different here in America versus back home in Canada, but I do enjoy shooting. When I am allowed, I will possess firearms in this country. I've done my research, learned, and now have an opinion about this matter based on fact, not conjecture. Many people talk about gun control being a cycle, and it is. Using Canada as an example versus here, you can see the antis want to take all the guns away from people. It won't stop. It does come down to taking away freedoms. Forget the Second Amendment for a minute. What you believe that people do with their guns, or shouldn't for that matter. It's none of your damn business. Cars kill more people than guns do every year. Drugs, prescription and illegal, alcohol, cigarettes, and private ownership of pools, just to name a few things. They kill a ton of people. Pools kill so many children every year. So, do we ban private ownership of pools? Do we make people feel like shit because they own a pool and some kids might sneak in one day, or their children might invite some children over when they're not away and there's an accident and someone dies? Did I say this was at all simple? No, and it's not about guns being lethal objects that were designed to kill. That's silly. Nowadays they are designed to hunt or sport shoot. And if you base jump or parachute, your hobby is going to kill people. You will argue here that it's about killing yourself in that example versus someone taking a gun and shooting other people. Well, again, it's not that simple. You need to look at statistics and learn facts. My car becomes lethal when someone drives it, or when someone steals it. I think we need to focus our efforts and energies towards other things. Things that might help change and make a difference in society. Like what? There's so much that we can do. And people think if we ban all guns, that all of a sudden all these problems will go away. They won't. And frankly, I think that's ridiculous. So what do? We learn to start. Then we address the issues behind the violence. Prevent it. Because if we don't and just ban guns, anger will still exist. Gangs will still exist. Toxic masculinity will still beat wives. Poor people will still be desperate. Kids will be picked on and they will snap. Mental health will still be an issue. And pressure cooker bombs will still exist. Renting vans and driving them into public people on public streets. So will knives and so will fists. Why don't we address mental health issues? Poverty. Lost children, to name a few things. Why are those things sometimes swept under the rug and the focus is on banning guns? Why don't we look at the reasons that people use them? Then we can go and make signs and ban that stuff. Why not focus our energies on those type of things? Instead, to me, it feels like a quick fix where we just ban all guns and forget all the real problems. And in the meantime, those signs that people make saying ban guns and guns are wrong, those attitudes are broadening the political and social divide in this country and in my country. In my opinion, these days we should be trying to bring people together, not pulling them apart. And the ignorance that I speak of pisses people off who own firearms or who know a little bit more about the subject. And when they feel attacked because of something that they enjoy, or in some cases actually need, because other people in society tell them they don't and judge them, those people get pushed further and further away. And most of the time double down on their beliefs because they're liking something that's evil or wrong. These people feel like they need to defend themselves and something strange happens. They get defensive. They find other people who are similar. Then they share and spread those beliefs, and they get pushed further and further down the rabbit hole. I'll leave this point short and simple. Criminals don't care about gun control. So let's accept each other and our differences. Fight poverty. Help our children grow up safe and happy. Address bullying and the root causes. Deal with mental health. Fight gangs. Focus on unity. That's how we can fight gun violence. Stop murders. And that's how to have a better, stronger, healthier society. But yes, it will be hard. And it'll cost